Thanks for staying with us. From professional basketball player to human rights activist, tonight basketball great Enes Kanter Freedom is set to receive the 2022 Lantos Human Rights Prize. The former Boston Celtics center is known for his public criticism of human rights abuses in China and beyond. And Enes Kanter Freedom joins us tonight with more on his story. Enes, great to see you again, and congratulations on the award. That's wonderful. I know that you are well aware of all the risks of speaking up on your beliefs. Can you tell us more about your personal story for those who are not familiar?
Some of the things that are happening in my country obviously pushed me to be an activist. I will say there was a corruption scandal happening in Turkey back in 2013, and President Erdogan and some of his family members were involved in it. And that was actually the first time I said something about it, and it became a conversation because of the NBA platform. After that, even one simple tweet can affect this much. I was like, from now on, I'm going to be more vocal about what's going on in my country more. So I started to talk, and the things that I talk about are obviously affecting me and my family, because when you're dealing with these authoritarian regimes, dictatorships, and brutal regimes, I will say they're going to do everything they can to silence you. So, unfortunately, my dad was a scientist and he got fired from his job. My sister went to medical school for 6 years and she still cannot find a job. I think the saddest one was my little brother, because he was playing basketball and he literally got kicked out of every team because of the same last name. So they were getting affected so much, they had to put a statement out there and said, we are disowning Enes publicly. The letter is still out there on the internet. The Turkish government didn't believe that. They sent police to my house in Turkey and they raided the whole house and they took every electronics away, phones, computers, laptops, iPads, because they wanted to see if I am still in contact with my family or not, but they couldn't find no evidence, but they still took my dad in jail for a while.
Wow. Thank you for sharing all of that and with us. And I know that you've been a really huge advocate for the Uyghur Muslims in China. I want to get your thoughts on all the protests that have been taking place over there in the communist country.
It's whenever I see people are risking their lives, people are risking their freedom to fight against these most brutal dictatorships in the world, like Iran, like China, like Russia. It just gives me so much hope for the future. And people are asking and saying is enough is enough. We want our freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of protest, and freedom of movement, and people are saying enough is enough. So now I see all these protesters, brave protesters, are, like risking everything they have to go out there and say enough, So whenever I saw the protesters in Iran and in Russia and China, I was like, this is the beginning of something so beautiful, and I'm so happy to see those protesters, and I'm actually praying for them every night.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit more about Iran and the World Cup. We saw the protests because of Masa Amini prior to the World Cup, but then also we saw watching the World Cup, some of the soccer team, they refused to sing the Iranian national anthem, and then also people who went back or were in the country were cheering on the United States, and they suffered consequences for that as well. Touch on that and your thoughts on that.
First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to all the brave women that protested in Iran. My prayers and support with you every night, every day. But I believe, athletes plays a very important role in our society, because once you're an athlete, you have millions of followers. You can especially inspire millions of young generation and kids out there. So that's why whenever I see an athlete taking a stand for what they believe in, it gives me so much hope and courage also. Whenever I see these videos on the internet that these innocent women are on the streets, are getting, beaten up and getting tortured, it just breaks my heart. It shatters my heart. So we have to do whatever we can. It's not only their job, but it's on everybody's job to just support them and be with them. So we have to do whatever we can to put pressure on the Iranian government, the Russian government, and Chinese government to, just step down, I guess.
And before I let you go, Enes, what's next for you? I know the last time you and I talked, you were talking about doing a basketball camp at the Vatican.
And my only goal is to bring people together from different backgrounds, different religions, different colors, different culture. So I started to organize this basketball camps for kids where I bring Muslims, Christians, and Jewish kids together to play basketball. We don't talk about no conflict. We don't talk about no wars. We only focus on basketball because it is so amazing to see these kids. Or whenever I put them in the same team, they are learning from each other. They are learning how to communicate together. They are learning how to share together. They are learning how to win and lose together.
Oh, I love it. That is so beautiful. And Enes, thank you so much again for talking with us. Thank you for all that you do. Congratulations on your award again, and God bless you.